So have you ever had a conversation with someone, you're getting really, really passionate about something? It could be business, it could be finance, it could be like personal development, it could be gym, it could be eating healthy, it could be intermittent fasting, keto, carnivore, like whatever it is you're passionate about, right? And you're chatting to someone about it. It could be a relative or friend or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And you're like expressing all this passion, all this like energy about the topic. And then when there's a gap in the conversation or you like waiting for them to have a response, they have nothing insightful to say. Has that ever happened to you? Most likely, right? It happens to everyone. It's because that person just cannot relate to you bettering yourself, or like even them bettering themselves and having a conversation about bettering themselves in the area you're like specifically bringing up. So some people may be able to do that about a gym, because a lot of people go to gym and stuff like that, so fair play for that. But let's just say, talk side hustles. Let's just say you know someone who is sick and tired of their job, and they visibly and verbally tell you that, oh, they hate their job or whatever. Now, when you bring up the topic of side hustles and you're getting into it and you're telling them, oh, I've learned about this, I learned about that, what's your thoughts on that? And then they go silent. It's because they just want to moan about their job, but they don't actually want to change anything about their lives, right? And I was talking about this with someone recently, and it was just pissing me off. I was just like, so I was getting into it, like I just mentioned, and like her energy about it just wasn't like reciprocal, or like it just you hate your job, we're talking about this side hustle type of stuff, and then you're not like giving anything back to say, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea, or like this, I was thinking about doing this as an idea. She was just like, oh, okay. I'm like, bro, are we even having a conversation? What are you talking about? Like, you just told me how much you hated your job and you're not willing to do anything about it. So like, now me suggesting something, surely you must be like interested in hearing a little bit more about stuff or something like that. But some people are just not. And it's just like, you know what? Like, just stop hanging around with people who just don't add anything to the interaction. It's just, or don't share anything insightful to you. It's just not the one, mate. So the reason I wanted to like bring this topic up is because I've started this channel because I want to like connect with smart people who are like going places and ambitious and driven, who want to talk about finance, money, business, building your body, health, fitness, wealth, relationships, personal development, social, self improvement, all these different things that come along with like bettering your life. And sometimes you can speak about this with family, but they may not pick it up. You can speak about it with friends, they may not pick it up either. But when there's like a tribe of people that you can kind of connect with, like for example, if you're looking at this video right now, you're looking at me, you're hearing my accent, and you're like, all right, cool, he's in the UK, London based, or near enough to London, and like we got similar mindset, similar drive, similar like interests and like ambitions in life, then maybe you want to connect with me and like people who are like me and who think the same way. Because what I found in my life is actually quite hard to find people who are like that, like who are into personal development as much as I am. And you can go to events here and there, but a lot of the time these events have their own agenda, and they're pushing, like for example, a real estate course, or they're pushing like a marketing course, or they're pushing like something else, and the people there are more there for the course content rather than to make friends like holistically who are into like all these different cool things outside of just like a job, for example. This is why I'm going to set up a private community so that people can join, chat with me directly, and also connect and meet friends who are on the same wavelength and like who want the same things out of life, whether that's health, fitness, money, relationships, all the above, right? There's not a place in my mind that is like bringing everyone together in that kind of environment on a broad scale, but like not specifically to like for a specific company's reasons, like marketing or like a Tony Robbins event, for example. Like this is, in my mind, I think this is going to be a way where people just like me can connect and chat shit together, and bust jokes together, and also like learn and develop together as well, and like share business ideas and share advice to better ourselves as a community in this private community, where there's going to be eventually link ups, like private community link ups in real life, adventure days, activity days and stuff like that too. Who knows, like later on down the line there could be trips abroad and stuff. Like, yeah, that'd be pretty fucking sick, to be fair. And obviously like regular Zoom calls with me and the rest of the community that we can jump on like once a week, because not once a week, sorry, like several times a week, because what you want is to like be close to that fire. Like what you'll find is, like, let's just say you were to go to a Tony Robbins event, right, or some of these like marketing events and stuff. They're few and far between. They're like once every like 3-6 months, a year, more than that sometimes, right? So you go there, you get lit up by this energy, this fire that is at this event, and then you go home, and then work comes in, your family comes in, your friends come in, the mundanity, I don't know if that's a word, the mundaneness, I don't know if that's a word either. Life being mundane just comes in, right? And it just wipes away, it slowly erodes away all that energy that you picked up from this event. Whereas if you had a regular event that you can plug into like on a weekly or even a daily basis, and you had events that you can link up with the same people, and you can like do cool shit together, like rock climbing or like hiking or go-karting and different like really, really cool shit to kind of like bond you. And then you learned in the same time like all these different life skills that's coming about because of this whole community as well. Regularly, and that's the main point, regularly, like weekly, you're just going to constantly be surrounded by a good influence that you can like plug into at any time, learn something, and like remind yourself, because there's a lot of people who you can't talk about business with, finance with, fitness with, whereas if they were in one community, which is what I'm hosting, and you could talk about them, plug in with people who are near you and like connect with them, and myself as well, that'll just be sick for everyone involved, right? Because you're just like, you're with your tribe, you're busting jokes, you're having a great time, and you're making new friends who are on the same interests as you are. Especially, and just like another thing to tie in, the amount of people who are lonely these days, who don't have real friends who they see regularly, it's like a pandemic of loneliness, right? So I'm not single-handedly trying to cure that problem, but I definitely am trying to bring more people to connect with and be friends with, and inspire and change lives with. And that's the people I want around me, people who are like going places and who are ambitious in life. So listen, if you think that's you, there'll be a link down below to a private community. You can kind of check that out, and I hope to see you over on the other side. All right, I'll see you in the next video.